Do you get pain with overhead press? I'm Dr. Morgan Riggins. I'm a physical therapist at OPAL Movement Therapy. And today we're going to break down the key points of performance for a dumbbell overhead press and how to perform it optimally to reduce shoulder pain or to prevent it. So, a couple of things we need to consider. I'm going to use super light weights to start, and I'm just going to show my dumbbell overhead press. It's going to be a strict press, so I'm not going to do a push press or involve my legs. I'm going to start here at 90 degrees, and then I'm going to press overhead. Couple of things I'm thinking about. Everything is staying nice and stacked. My ribs are stacked over my pelvis. My neck and spine are staying in a nice neutral position. And if I turn here, we can see my shoulder blades separating as I go up and then coming toward the spine as I come down. And so we're going to break down some of the pieces of the overhead press. The first one that we have to address is the shoulder blade movement because it's the most difficult. So when we raise our arm overhead, for how our shoulder is designed to move, the ball portion or the arm bone starts to spin, and then the shoulder blade upwardly rotates with it. And it upwardly rotates away from the spine so that the bottom of the shoulder blade comes all the way to mid-trunk. This is really important because we don't spend all our time with our arms overhead. So most of us are really good at keeping the shoulder blades down together toward the spine, and we might find some resistance when we start to move up, especially if we work a desk job or we spend a lot of time on the computer, things like that, and then we're trying to go and lift heavy, and our shoulder blades and our shoulder joints are just not quite primed for it. So we're going to talk about that a lot, but as you can see from my guy George, he's got a nice upright posture as well. That's going to be really important too. If I try to do my overhead press and I'm like this is now putting my spine in a less than ideal position. I've got extension here, my ribs are sticking forward, my pelvis is back here. This is not putting me in a good position to have good full shoulder mobility. So we're going to go over from the foundation, what is our checklist for a solid dumbbell overhead press? First one is going to be neutral spine. So to find neutral spine, we are going to arch our back, and you'll feel your back muscles tighten and your abs lengthen. You're going to round your back. You'll feel the opposite. Your abs tighten, your back muscles loosen, and then you settle right here in the middle. Neutral spine is the position just where my vertebrae are each bearing the least amount of stress. Whereas like if I stand kind of en natural, like how I want to stand, my hips are thrown forward, I'm hanging on these ligaments, and there's more stress on the vertebra in my low back and in my neck because my head's being pulled forward. If I do presses here, all of a sudden my shoulders are not going to be able to perform as well, and that stress is going to go to my neck and potentially my back. So instead, we want to put ourselves in a neutral position. Most of us in neutral have a little bit of a curvature in the low back, but it varies based on person to person. And so we can find neutral one of two ways. We can do that drill, arch, round, halfway in between, or we can see if our ribs are stacked over our pelvis. So like when I stand en natural, my ribs are sticking up and my pelvis is back here. So I really want it to be more in this position where it's nice and stacked. And it's my abdominals that help wrap those ribs down and around. A really cool way to figure out how to turn those abs on is by using your breathing. So you can take a deep breath in. You'll feel them expand and lift. And when you exhale, those abs wrap around. And so that helps keep me stacked. That's a quick way to find it as well. So if I'm kind of relaxed, I'm talking to George, my skeleton, we're hanging out. If I'm going to get ready to press, I may just use my breath, inhale, exhale, to get into a stacked position. So you can get there one of two ways. Once I'm here, I want to make sure my head is stacked over my neck and my spine. My knees are just soft, so that way I'm ready to absorb some force or load from the weights. And then when I bring my arms up here, I don't want to just punch my arm up. I actually want to imagine my shoulder blades floating up. So what this looks like from the back is my shoulder blades are just lightly separating, and then they're going to separate even more as I come up. And I want that little bottom corner of that triangle bone to be floating away from the spine. That's going to give me full normal mechanics and mobility for the shoulder. Now, if we feel pretty good about that without weights, we're going to start super light. These are 5s, because if we're learning new concepts, anytime we make it harder, heavier, faster, and more volume, We just go back to what we know best. So we'll start light, and we're gonna start with what we talked about with the neutral spine. So I'm up in this position, I'm up tall, I can arch it, round it, halfway in between. I might check in on my ribs with my breathing. Inhale, exhale. I feel those abs wrap around. Now I have a really good base. My core is engaged, my spine is stacked. I'm gonna think about my shoulder blades already floating apart to get to this position. And then I'm gonna think about those shoulder blades floating apart. And then on the way down, they just come toward the spine. They're floating apart and then coming back down. From the back view, I'm making sure not to pinch them together. That directly works against what the shoulder joint is supposed to do when it goes overhead. So instead, I have to actually kind of keep my neck and the muscles between my shoulder blades relaxed so that the shoulder blades can float apart from each other and then come down, okay? And this is challenging to do well. You might find that if you're running out of room in the shoulders, that then you borrow from the back and you lose that neutral spine. So if we do it correctly, now I'm actually forcing those shoulder blades to work harder. My abs are kicking in. If you're not borrowing from the back, you may try to borrow from the neck and pop your head through. And we don't want that because then we overutilize these muscles in the neck, and that can lead to neck issues or neck issues that refer to the shoulder. So super important that that neutral spine position includes the neck staying still. And so in this position, just to recap, I'm stacking my ribs over my pelvis. I'm in neutral spine from the head, neck, all the way down. My knees are slightly unlocked. And then shoulder blades are floating apart. Abs stay on at the top. And then coming down with control, I can kind of reset, relax my neck, repeat. If that goes well, then I can increase the weight. And so I'll just go up to 10s. Same components. My chin is neutral. I'm not looking up. I'm not slouching. Ribs stacked over pelvis. I could use that breath. Abs are on. Here we go. Shoulder blades are floating apart. Keeping all of those components. And I can continue to go up. And when I get to a weight where I feel like I can't maintain that neutral spine, or I start to jut my chin forward, or I feel like my shoulder blade can't freely move up, then I know I've hit a point where I'm going to start to borrow from other areas, and that's when we can run into a jam. If this still doesn't feel good for you, then I highly recommend getting it checked out by a qualified provider, or you could also check out our shoulder blade foundations course on our website. It's a digital course where we work more on just the shoulder blade upward rotation component. We also have one for neutral spine, so if you struggled with the stacking piece, you might find that helpful as well. But in the meantime, check it out, see if you can apply it in the gym. And then if you have any comments or questions, please put it in the comments on the video and we'll answer. And then if you like this video, hit subscribe. You can also hit the bell icon so that you can get notifications. We post YouTube videos every week, and then we also post daily on Instagram and Facebook, so check us out there as well.